Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Pathologic 2, where things are feeling a little tiny bit less grim than they were recently. Let's not get too comfortable. That is exactly the kind of time when the pest strikes. So we're in the Saburov's home. We had a thought that if I decide to pay them a visit, I should start with Katerina around the back of the mansion. That's maybe a good idea. Should we go back outside to do that? You are just very ominous. That is a weird way to stand under that picture and everything. Hold on, can we... I don't remember exactly how this mansion works. Is there a back door that I can go in? Or do I just need to walk through to the back of the mansion without talking to the scary dude? Okay, you ladies seem to want to have a word with me. She's shown her true colors, the false mistress. If our beloved White Swan Victoria were here, she'd be out on the streets shielding people from trouble. And Nina, if she were around, none of this would be happening. That's the sort of power she had. But this one just locks herself up at home. A useless mistress. I remember Nina. After her, a plague feels like little more than a funhouse? That seems a little harsh, given the allegiance that this detractor has shown. Sorry, who are you talking about? The Saburov woman, Katerina. She's never had power, utterly barren. We used to pity her, but now she's worse than barren. She sows poison. Boy, there's a whole thing going on here with, like, the value of women to society being restricted to their use as reproduction. I don't know if the game is intentionally broaching this topic, but this whole thing she's saying here is fucked up in all kinds of ways. This is a very complicated sentiment. Alright, nonsense. What poison? You know nothing, you dolt. If you don't know the power of the mistresses, then shut your mouth and show some respect. Have some sense. Some give off heat, some give off light, some give off poison. We sense that she gives off poison. Okay, I don't think you're really trying to help me here. I'm just gonna go have a chat with her, if you don't mind. I'll just settle this whole poison thing. Who would be more qualified? I'm a doctor, after all. Oh, hey, Reflections. Haven't seen you guys in a little bit. The wisest women in our town would take the title Mistress, a word that calls to mind the tales of ancient sorcery. Do you believe in such a thing? Once upon a time I might have dismissed it, but I've seen some shit the last couple of days. Mistresses were two extraordinary women in the town's ruling families. There was something undeniably uncanny about them. Stepson, you bear the marks of nature's flow upon your skin, but mind how thin the twire runs in your veins. You are more stone than earth. Like ships must catch the wind in sails, our town relies on nature's flow. Well, nature is everywhere, everything lives by her flows. None know how many winding paths there are, none know what forces run their course. There are no words for what they hold. To see them calls for gifted senses, gifted minds. And should one hear the call of such a gift, what feats, what brave new world they'd find with it, like being the very first to hoist a sail. We lost that gift when we learned to make tools? I don't think that that's right. Such gifts are not yet the domain of mankind, I guess? Victoria Olgumskaya and Nina Kana. One 5'6", one 6'1", mortals, but seen as giants, for they could feel the powers move across the firmament. And some merely know the flows, some feel them now and then. A mistress tastes those waves, might drink of them. And when the stars align, might ride them. The people felt such women knew the workings of the world itself. And that's it? How is that not enough? The mistresses kept their hands quite clean of rough and tawdry magics. Victoria knew not a spell that brought the dead to life, but Nina did inspire fear. Along her steps doors shut and children hid. But those two women gave the town its life. None know the hows or whys of such a power. Yes, I knew a man like that. Nobody knew how, but his presence would severely change the pressure every time. I imagine I'm talking about my dad there. Hey, have you been standing there the whole time? 'Cause that's weird. Reflections writhe in the rod's corners. More than in other houses. Yeah, like a lot more than in other houses. 2 mistresses there were, and all felt that to be correct. For one was night and one was day. One was heat and one was cold. One was storm and one was calm. Contrast reigned. Nina held court over schism and unease. Victoria's domain was peace and nourishment. The bright and the fearsome, as they were called. The Kanes had Nina. The Ogimskis had Victoria. When Saburo returned with his young bride, my Katerina, there was no place for her in such a scheme. But her hairs would raise, and her skin would sense it, and once Nina did perish, Katerina took her place and seized a name for herself. Nina, I don't know. The odds that this choice means anything at all are basically 0, right? Nina the Nocturnal, let's say. Nina did only drive men to fear, but Katerina, naive as she was, mistook the nuance of Nina's role for a romantic darkness, and that, in turn, would drive her down the road to frightful things. And nobody really noticed. Victoria died, and Katerina replaced both mistresses. 2 roles to play. She grew into neither. But patient folk would wait for her to find her gift, and some may still await her day. She took our strange customs too seriously. Neither half of this conversation makes any sense to me, by the way. I'll be right with you. It kind of feels like I should finish talking to the reflections first. Wild Nina begat Maria the talented. Warm Victoria begat Capella the gifted. My mistress has no one. She'd take any child to raise as her kin, gift or no gift. Any child, you say? Is she afraid? She sits in darkness, weaving blackest yarn from heaviest thoughts. She'd rather knit baby socks. Instead, she drapes black folds around her throat and chokes. There, no need to cry. This is a wholly inappropriate response here, right? There's no whining going on. It doesn't really sound like there's any crying going on either, but, no need to cry? At night we hear her talk to herself, mad. I failed to give light to the town, talentless. I failed to nourish town or child, giftless. I failed to guard against plague, useless. I am barren. Well, I could prescribe something for her nerves. Listen, I'm here to help. I'll be right with you there. But have you heard? Such wondrous news! We wait in awe for our new daughter, true and talented. And such a talent, sir! A blessed gift! And now we are not 2, but 3. And one will much more mighty than 2 be. She's pregnant? Well, the daughter's adopted, and near grown up. It's for the best. We wait too long, and now an orphan child will have a home at last. Okay, can I see her? She walks the streets and does her chores, bound to this plague somehow. She has the gift, so she must stay to stop the plague. Salvation can and must come from the house of Saburo. So I have the option of saying I've met that girl. Oh, right, yeah, of course, because it was Clara, right. I've met that girl. This is what happens when you break play sessions. Hey there, Katerina, just sort of stare in idly at that. Is this important to you? I don't know what this is. It's like a place where you could keep a book.
It's beneath a mistress.
It's a weird place for an end table.
About at night.
Isidore's son, Artemy, is that right? Or is it Ursher? No, apparently I had an older brother. I'm Artemy. Have you come to present yourself to the mistress? It's taken long enough. I don't believe this is a courtesy visit. That means you have a request. Speak. Clara said you were in need of help. Ha, now this is funny. Why is that funny? I'm fine, healthy and strong enough, but my husband could benefit from your help. He requires your counsel, but is too proud to ask. Alexander would rather bear all on his shoulders than distract you from your work. Could you speak to him? Yeah, sure, I'll speak to him. Is he at the town hall? Yes, at the town hall, or maybe in his half of the house. I'm not certain. I haven't seen him in a while. Yes, quite a while. Almost a day. Well, I mean, she doesn't look sick to me. She doesn't look great, but she doesn't look like she has the pest anyway. Very well. Thank you. What is this thought I just had? Seems like the dark cloud hangs over Alexander today, not Katerina. And yet we were advised to go to Katerina first. And it makes me wonder if I missed something. You can't get into the other half of the house from here. Okay, well apparently my presence ran off all of the detractors. These guys, on the other hand, they are going nowhere. Alright, let's have a talk with this menacing son of a bitch. Oh, hey guys. This game has me all stressed out, like 100% of the time. Our town's always had 3 ruling houses, Kane, Olgimsky, Saburov. Each one would reign over their own domain. The Kanes were our head, the Olgimskys our belly. But pray, Burak, tell me what the Saburovs held. Well, head, belly, and hands, yeah? The Kanes were weavers of laws and of dreams. The Olgimskys were masters of money and men. Saburov remained an executive power. Their task was to keep the streets in order in a town where there was almost no crime. Yeah, I guess the genocide that the Olgimskys perpetrated against the kin doesn't count as a crime, huh? It's funny, you see. When the houses agreed to manage the town, Saburov was, in name, the triumvirate's head. I know not what that meant, nor what it entailed. It entails exactly what is happening now, that they could seize control in face of a mortal crisis. Saburov still believes that his mission is clear. Keep order. He may not look the part, but he is not a fool. He knows duty entails the pursuit of order through fear, and that violent means stain the soul of a duty-bound man. Yeah, the favorite excuse of vicious tyrants everywhere. He looks a little bit less imposing from this angle. Nope, okay, there it is. He was just giving his neck a little bit of a rest. When denied respect, is a man not wounded, Burak? Not even for evil he does, but for failing to do much at all. Even more when you had not a chance to do any deed of note. There are only so many of those going round. Nonsense, the world is full of opportunities for greatness. That's probably comforting to believe. Perhaps it is now, but not in ordinary times. To live a year of your life without doing something contemptible is already an outstanding feat, one I've never seemed to quite accomplish. I speak not of you, Burak, I speak of my master. His pride, his soul, has been wounded by lack of respect. He needs his authority, now more than ever. The Kanes, the Olgimskys, never trusted our house. Perhaps this distrust never turned to contempt, but distrust it was, dear sir. Alright, what are you getting at? Nothing. I've said my piece. You're a healer. One thinks you might care to learn more about pain. Yeah, the thing that this guy's experiencing is not actually pain. If a person comes to think that you wounded their heart with deceit, does that mean you truly are guilty of it? More so in regards to their feelings, their hopes, and their fears? What does this have to do with Alexander Saburov? Are you not his reflection? What indeed? I just asked you a question. Then... feels like a trick question. I'm not interested in answering this. Feels like a question where, some things have been simplified so as to leave out some facts.
Shut them up. Toughen up. Leave hesitation behind. It's our family's time.
Leave hesitation behind, he says, and then pauses for a second and a half before continuing to speak. Ah, Burak. If you've grown weary of your medical duties and seek to join the town guard, you'll leave disappointed. Your expertise would be wasted on the streets. Not to mention, we're almost out of leather caps. Yeah, that's okay, I brought my own. So what brings you here today? The hunt for the urchin that carries the plague? If so, don't bother. My porch is already packed with volunteers. Pockets full of matches and kindling leave no room for common sense. What urchin? They showed up this morning claiming to have found the carrier. A homeless little girl, clearly infected, but nonetheless alive and well. I know perfectly well what urchin they mean. Be assured she has nothing to do with this. Okay, how can I help? You're a doctor. They'll trust you more than me. Tell them they're mistaken. Better yet, if they capture her, they can't hurt her. Without her, we're doomed. Isn't that right? Dankovsky told me that, about his vaccine project. Yeah, I'll remind them of the Shabnak hunt and how that went. Maybe that'll work. Or maybe they're 100% fine with how the Shabnak hunt went. Mob justice doesn't solve anything, but who is this orphan carrier girl they're after? Yeah, they get into their head that there's a little girl who's the source of all their problems. I mean, it's not hard to predict where that ends up, right? Well, healer, will you tell us about the carrier? Is she in there with him? Okay, listen carefully and tell everyone. Even if there is a carrier, that carrier is our salvation. What does that mean? We'll make a cure from that person's blood, a vaccine, but we need the carrier alive for that. Well, they also say she's not alone. Not everyone dies from this sickness. Do you get what that means? According to my data, everyone dies. That's not really helpful. Okay, no. What? What are you trying to get at here? If there are people who get sick but don't die, the plague must come from them. But I don't like any of these. None of these are me telling him that he's wrong, right? That's what I would really like to do in this situation. Whether or not he's actually right, he needs to be convinced that I know better and that he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'll say this middle one, I guess. Run on home. I know slightly more about the plague now. I need to keep searching. Even silly rumors may hold a grain of truth. Is it true that not all victims of the sandpest die? Well, yes, it is, because I was a victim of the sandpest and I totally lived. And I'm not even the only person who knows about the Schmouder. Still, strikes me as like a very dumb name. Alright, well let's go deliver this kid, right? And then we probably need to go to the theater and do our actual job. Hey, there's some stuff I threw on the ground. What was this again? It was a single hook. You know what? I'm hungry enough to eat. Let's go ahead and eat that and take this. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. A lot of other stuff running through my brain, I guess. Well, there's combat occurring. Oh, I did that. I did that thing where I just flail my arms to the side uselessly. Okay. That guy's got a knife, but he's chasing the other dude. I'm gonna help, but I'm gonna help from this side so that I can see if that guy comes back. Alright, give up. Let me loot you. Okay, if you're gonna kill him, but just... Alright, ah, crap. Okay, he's giving up. Guy's running off. Okay, we did drop one of them, so let's go ahead and loot him. Oh, hell yeah, he actually has stuff. What is this? A ring? It circles back like time and is equally precious. Oh, a new lockpick. Okay, hold on a second.
The plague bringer is here.
Why are you here? Did you bring me anything yummy? Hey, kiddo, are you by any chance sick? Let me take a look. Why? Because if you're infected, but you don't die, that's maybe not a good way to approach here. Because I'm a doctor and I said so. Look at the light and let me examine your pupils. I'm not sick. No, not me. Never am. I don't even get colds. Not even when I'm soaked in barefoot. True. No signs of the disease. I'm not scared of this plague at all. You should be. You don't know anything. Some doctor you are. So, you know someone who got sick and didn't die then? Not everyone dies from it. Only people who are scared. And I'm not scared at all. Who told you that? My new friend. Do you mean Clara? Is she your new friend? No, it's not Clara at all. It's my special friend. She's always with me. Okay, so a ghost or a imaginary friend or something like that. Alright, if we want to take some of this stuff, we gotta free up some inventory space, right? I don't necessarily need a button, but let's figure this out. So I'm pretty hungry. If I eat this. Okay, I think eating both of the things of smoked meat is not a waste, or at least it's not much of a waste. So that frees up enough space for us to pick up the other lockpick. I think we absolutely need to do that. And then the question is whether it's worth it to pick up anything else. Hey, the ring's got to be worth grabbing, right? So let's drop... Oh man, it's so hard to know. The tweezers, maybe? Yeah, that ring's got to sell for something, right? And I guess we'll just leave the rest of this stuff. I did trade off my dead name. Yeah, okay, so we don't have a stack to put that dead name on. Hey, buddy, you feeling okay? You won't talk to me. Okay, whatever. I'm actually getting really tired. Oh, I don't have room for an empty bottle. You know what? I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it. We should go and turn in this baby to the town hall. Because first of all, I want my reward, and secondly, I want to not be carrying this baby anymore. I'm respected here in the Backbone. Am I respected enough for them to bring me a barrel of water by any chance? Really use a barrel of water right now. There was one here. Oh well, one problem at a time. Let's go ahead and turn in this baby, reclaim our 6 inventory spaces, and then go to the hospital and do some work. And do this just in case I get myself killed. Who is the baby? You're the baby receiver. Okay. Cool. That's a lot of reputation that we just gained. People love people who make babies not die, I guess. I mean, in a situation like this, you have to be thinking, they must have an eye to replenishment, because a lot of the population is dead very, very soon. Okay. Make sure we have enough stamina to make the run to the theater once we enter Plague Town. And we can start picking up bottles again. Bottles are not such a big deal. They're not as big of a deal as I was afraid they might be, because of the fact that that they're in like almost every garbage can. So actually, I guess the best way to do this would be to go down here. Let's go next to that building. Getting a little bit late in the afternoon. A lot of smashing noises that I'm hearing. A little worried about all that. Yeah, it's not actually lootable. Oh! For a lockpick, he would trade. That's big, though. That's a big trade. I really need my new lockpick. Okay. Here in the Marrow, no one cares about me. Run this way, stick left. Plague Cloud just kind of put itself together right in front of me, which sucks, but... Wow, really? It dumped my immunity all the way down to 0? Even through my cloak and my gloves and stuff. Terrible. Alright, let's get this work done, because apparently we're going to have to sleep, like, pretty soon. Unfortunately, we're probably going to have to go straight from here to sleeping. I did not realize how exhausted we were. We could actually... We could still acquire some stuff to wake us up a little bit, right? We know that coffee and lemons aren't that hard to come by. Alright, I have arbitrarily decided that you will be my first patient. Let's start with a Zerk tincture. Okay, fever rises. Could be literally anything. We probably have to hit the painkillers here. Nerves or blood? I'm not happy with how many this is taking already. Let's give her another Zerk. No information at all. Great. Fantastic. Okay. definitive. It's in the nerves. I have a thing for that. Should maybe have given her something more for the pain. And really, my immunity, just like touching the infected, right? Would I be better off not using another tincture and instead just using some of the spare antibiotics to clear the thing from my system if I get it again? Probably. We probably need the tinctures, honestly. But we already don't have enough. That took way too many. Okay, that's a good start. Come on, show me something definitive. That is the opposite of definitive. And all we know is that this is wrong. Alright, at this point, I think it's actually better for us to just guess. Nope, that was wrong. Oh dear. Like, we have so little in the way of tinctures that I think maybe we just give random antibiotics. That feels bad. But we certainly don't... What time is it? We probably don't have time to run home, brew, sleep, and then come back. So... And there's a chance that it would be a nerve problem with these patients anyway, and we'd just be screwed. Wrong antibiotic. Man. Helped one patient, 2 to go. My own immunity is recovering a little bit. It's like touching them is terrible for me. If I use this tincture, it's not going to help us, right? Best case scenario is it'll tell us that one of these could be wrong. And I think I might need this. Man, yeah, like the 1 in 3 shot is really rough. But I don't think we're going to be able to do this any other way. I'm just gonna take a couple more guesses. Remarkable how it's always wrong, though. Alright, and my immunity is dropping again. So I tried with everybody then, right? Yep. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, okay. Well, it turns out it takes like 5 tinctures to ascertain the infection in anyone. So... Oh, that's the bull. It's time to do the bull thing. The Roggy Barrow way out there. I need to be there before dawn. Okay, well, I gotta sleep. So I'm going to take this last tincture for myself, which is the only way this was going to work, sadly. And we're going to go and get to sleep. Another plague cloud over there. And it looks like they're throwing Molotov cocktails. I think it behooves us to leave the plagued area as quickly as possible. We're just going for that. Gotta run past this plague cloud, which may or may not respond and come after me. Yeah, we're not getting paid tomorrow. That's pretty rough. I just, like, severely underestimated the amount of tincture I was going to need. Although, I mean, that's only sort of true. It's also the case that I couldn't really have have gathered more than I did gather. Okay, this is pleasant. No, that's not Murky. That is a different child. So this ring is very valuable to this child. I would love some immunity boosters and an egg. Let's see if we can make that happen. Oh, we can totally make that happen. Alright, I'm going to hold on to the ring for a minute, because I don't know, we might have other uses for it. Yeah, we'll do that. Thanks, kid. And we pretty much just have to go to bed immediately, right? Boy, I sure wish the darkness of the plague would be cast off from us. The way that guy, like, resettled himself as we were approaching, I was thinking for a second there he was going to come at me. Honestly, it's not a great time to have to sleep. I can't remember which streets we've been down and which things we've looted today, and I don't know for sure, actually, like, even if today is the thing I should be concerned about. Does stuff get returned to the, or does more loot show up in the things at the end of the day, or, you know. Lack of grasp of the systems makes it hard to know whether it's a waste of my time to stop and look in the trash receptacles. Should we stop in and say hi to Bad Grief? I can't get out this way. Where am I relative to the openings? Okay, there's an opening up there, but not accessible from this side. And unfortunately, our character can't jump for crap. Okay. Let's just make it to bed before I start taking serious damage from my exhaustion. We can figure everything else out later. We could take a hit of morphine before bed and see if the effect of that is obvious. I mean, if all it does is cause our health to regenerate faster, that's still pretty good. Our health is like half or maybe lower, I think. Oh, you got back here fast. I mean, I guess I'm fine with it. I'd rather the kids know that they have a place where they can come. Alright, let's make ourselves just any tincture at all. And then throw this and the infected blood in here. Okay. Feeling alright? He's feeling alright. Am I hungry enough to need to eat before I sleep? Not really, but I guess there's no reason not to eat this egg. Alright, and then I'm going to try it. Well, you know what? We don't need health that badly. Let's try using morphine before we sleep, though, to see if it makes the exhaustion go down any faster. So we'll sleep for, like, 3 hours and see what that does for us.
Hoy. Half a man, half a boy.
You are so creepy, kid. Okay, and that was a fair amount of sleep. Is this refilled? It has not. Alright, what do we get? We got ourselves something. Made from infected blood, must be tested on a patient. Well, we know a patient or two. So Bad Grief is all the way infected, right? I say let's run and give this to him, because we already gave Notkin something. I'm hoping I can get them both to survive a little bit longer. Grief seems like he could be a real useful dude. And then we'll go back and deal with the bull thing. Yeah, I'm not too pleased with not getting paid tomorrow. I think that's going to have some real serious consequences for us. Alright, this is Grief's place. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding the severity of the situation, and it will instead be the case that we just get paid, like, less tomorrow, and we have to, like, work our pay back up, or who knows. Is that you, Grief? Yeah, that's him. Well, they wrapped him up good. He would give me 1,000... Okay, we should do that. I don't know that I necessarily want to buy anything from him, but I need that money. If it is, in fact, the case that we might not get paid tomorrow. I'm really happy that we didn't trade that to that kid. Hey, man. Try this. That is really not very effective. Okay. Infected blood produces an antibiotic too, and a pretty weak one, frankly. Alright. Well, we tried. Nobody here wants to, like, actually talk to me or anything. Alright, let's go see about this bowl and maybe have another session of herb gathering. Our health was not low enough for me to tell whether or not the morphine had any effect on our health gain. I think we might have filled up either way. But it did seem to make us lose exhaustion more quickly, which is valuable. Like I said, it's basically time in a bottle then. It's a pretty damn useful thing. So that white square is in this direction. Can we tell? Wonder if the white square is supposed to be that? No, it says it's this way. It's weird. Also, I have no idea how herb spawns on the step work. It's possible that there will be new stuff already, but also possible that there won't. So going to places where I have already gathered could be a total waste of time. Also, I keep thinking that I hear footsteps that are not my own. I think it's just that we walk very, very loudly. There's a tiny little, very well hidden tombstone. Which means that probably I walked on that person's grave. Okay, let's see what all this is about. Hey everybody, I'm here to do whatever weird thing it is you wanted me to do. Hold on a second. You know how I love random plants. Okay, well the good news is they seem to have sedated it already. They're probably pretty annoyed by the thing I'm doing right now, where I just sort of wandered off to pick flowers. Okay, sorry, I'm back. I remember what I was doing. Hey everybody, how's it going? Hold on a second. Be right with you. There we go. Oh. Well, this was productive. Yeah, it potentially takes a lot of tinctures to diagnose a patient. He is ready, Yogachin. He only waits for you. Much joy in such waiting. Soon he will become himself, and the sky and earth will return to their due places. Gorkon shall flow, and harsh winter shall chase away the foul autumn. That which came from the ground shall return to the ground. A blade for you, Yogachin, to trace his lines properly. I am not turning down the blade. Okay, trace the lines. I have no idea if this was a good thing to do or not. I feel that way about a lot of the stuff we do in this game. Take your due. Hey everybody, let's just all stare openly at me. Okay. The Menku's finger. That stuff's just gonna fall on the ground because I don't have my inventory arranged in such a way as to pick it up, but that's, like, very helpful to have. Thank you. The Buha grants you his blood. Take the blood. The Buha are immune to Earth Plague. The disease rolls off them. Water off foul. The blood is strong. Drink it, Yogachin. It's good for your health. They don't get sick, you're sure? And we keep eyes on every bull. We love them. Know them better than our children. If a bull died, how could we have missed it? A learned man came to us. He said the bulls brought the disease. He was a fool. He made a mistake. Huh. So there's something special about their blood. Sure, why not? Makes sense to show the bull blood to Dankovsky. He's the man with the microscope. Is it true that bulls never get infected? Let's hope so. Okay, I've taken as much of my my due as I can. Hey, sorry there, man. Didn't mean to just ram right into you. Okay, well, I'm doing it. I'm being the Menku as best I can. Alright, so where are we at on herbs here? 422. I mean, we definitely could do some more gathering. Hold on, let me rearrange my inventory a little bit. Try to make room. I guess that's as much room as I'm making. Oh, that's a firefly, not a loot sparkle. No, never mind. It was a lone loot sparkle. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm making the kin feel a little bit more comfortable here, even though I don't know that I necessarily believe that their rituals have any real-world meaning outside of how they feel about them. Hey, that's not nothing, though, right? It matters to them. It will have some effect on them. And a time of plague is no time for everybody to have terrible morale. As dangerous as it is, hope is itself valuable. Let's just see if we can locate any more stuff before we return to town. We don't have a huge amount of water to work with. Actually, where are we on water? 6 vials. I'm starting to have too many different kinds of blood in my inventory. 6 vials. I mean, we have enough. We have more than enough plants. But... and we have more than enough plants to make 6 tinctures. But we do want to be higher on plants, if we can be, because it is not always convenient to run out here and grab more. Although, I guess if we're coming over to our medicinal still, we're not that far from the herbs. I do wish there were more sources of water in this part of town. If we fixed up one of the water pumps in the warehouse district, I wonder if it would stay fixed and stay producing water, or if we would have to, like, repair it again every so often. It might be worth repairing one, just to see. Like, if that one right outside of the shady shop could produce water for us, that would be very convenient. Alright, we'll have a look at it. Huh. Hey, that great big bull, somewhere, has a little bit of a problem with the thing we're seeing here. Can't imagine why. I'm debating whether it would be acceptable for us not to drink any of our water, to just use it for tinctures, because I really... yeah, we should check in here, see if anything's going on at Saba's place. Stepfolk do love to gather here at night sometimes, although we may have seen the one bit of information that is to be gotten from here. We could sleep here. Oh no, she has something to say.
The kin will
Or
tell
Aspity.
him nothing. We're wary of outsiders.
Live without looking forward, Emshin. Hey, tell me about this word, Uturg. That's the sigil from the list, the one from my inheritance. What do you know of it? It is a creature made up of many other living beings, a body that contains the world, such as Bos Turok, the great bull of elder stories. He is Earth. We followed the lines when we cut up bulls, because in his lines, in his nerves and sinews, Bos Turok encased the knowledge of how the world is connected. When opening up a body, a butcher reenacts creation. Okay, sure, I remember that story. Sure, It's metaphor, but a beautiful, clever metaphor. Think of the world as though it is a living thing. Understand that all things are tied to all other things, just like a body. Respect it like a creature with its own free will. So you think the Udurg is Bos Turok? Perhaps. Think about it. Your father chose the sigil because your written language lacks a suitable name for such a creature. A body that contains the world. Something living that consists of many parts. I do sort of wonder if the Udurg is like the town, right? That's what the kin might have called, say, a train. A train made of many cars. The description fits, you know? They might. But, unlike illiterate worms, your father knew the word for train well, and I doubt he thought of trains as living things in need of salvation. Yeah, alright, thank you, Saba. This is an enlightening conversation. Maybe not, like, useful in the strictest sense, but certainly something to think about. Udurg is a living thing. You don't think it could be the sand pest, do you? Probably not. But, I mean, it's not the craziest thing. It's less crazy than some things that we have seen, some things that have actually happened to us here in this game. Maybe it needs to somehow be protected from itself? I don't know. I think the town feels like a more likely guess. Alright, let's go brew. No, nothing to say. So we could brew up another infected blood thing to use as an antibiotic. I don't know. I don't know if that's really worth doing. Okay, so let's use Swevery and stuff to make some plus tinctures. Actually, we pretty much just need to make a bunch of the same plus tincture, right? Because of inventory space. Oh, I'm out of water, right. Yep, and that's not getting refilled. Alright, where are we at on my needs? I'm a little tired again. I'm very hungry. Wow, that really solves that problem. I'm a little worried about our thirst if I go to sleep for a couple more hours. What time is it? Midnight. I don't think we should go to sleep. I think we should go see... the play in the theater. If we do that, and it shows us the location of the dead item shop again, that's information, right? That'll be something we can rely on a little bit. It's at least the suggestion of information. I do not remember, I know we saw it a bunch of times, but I do not remember what it takes to fix a water pump. Let us go and see if we are anywhere near it. We are, in fact. Oh, that is wonderful. Actually, that is so huge. Hopefully it stays fixed, because those were not cheap components that we just spent on it. But yeah, if that one remains fixed, then we have a good source of water. It'll be so much easier to brew. I just need to keep gaining bottles. It looks like he does not have new stuff yet. I mean, we could just get some coffee or some lemon. We probably ought to be a little bit careful with spending our money, because we, like I said, we didn't actually accomplish our goal yesterday, so we may not get paid today. Yeah, hard to know. If today is indeed a day we don't get paid, like this is probably the best day for that, at least. Because of the bull and everything. Okay, so what's my plan here? My plan is to... It's not quite time to go to the theater yet, but it will be soon. We should just move in that direction. We'll see if we can't get to the next play pretty much as soon as it opens. That would be convenient. Should be, I was about to say, should be midnight any second now. What's done is done. The night will be uneventful. Keep on working, or take this time to rest. A new pantomime is being rehearsed. 3,500 infected, 38 missing, 11 suicides, overall death toll, 3,621 people. Okay. Bad Grief lives, Vlad does not get infected, and he did not need our help at all. Uh-oh. Okay, okay. Fine so far. Los. Ooh, he's very infected now, though. Nobody else is in danger yet.
Waits no more.
Wait, let's go back to the
Uniform.
soul and a halves.
Each day is followed by a shorter night, and each night by a yet shorter day. The end is closer than you think.
Huh. I wonder if that's an artful description or if that's literally the case. I want to see if the Soul and a Halves have a new map for us before we go into the city. It is really useful to know ahead of time where the plague is going to be. And let's just go ahead and loot stuff. Not a lot of loot to be gained, unfortunately. Gonna take today's map of infected districts? You're on it again. Oh, you're so brave now, but one day you'll walk into a district unprotected and bam, infection in your face. Or someone will get infected because they've got plague at their doorstep and you won't even know. And then what? And then nothing. I'll figure something out. It's not like you can stop us anyway. We have no plans to fit on our hands. If you don't take it, another doctor will. A less squeamish one. Okay, I'm trying hard to accept the map. We have not yet had any dialogue options that were like, I'm definitely accepting this. Okay. If you have a death wish, fine. But you're spreading the infection, too. How many times do I have to tell you? And you won't hold us all back. Fine. Have it your way. Here's the deal. I'll bring you protective medicine, enough for a couple of kids. And they'll be the only ones doing scouting. Is that clear? Crystal clear. Thanks, Mom. We could find pills ourselves. We're not helpless. But sure. And if you're so kind, how about bringing some other useful stuff, too? In exchange, we'll make sure the map is top-notch. A bargain, huh? We have the map of the infected districts, and we'll trade it to you for fat loot. Yeah, okay. I'm willing to do that. The map is 10. 10 points of tradiness. Well, fortunately, we totally have that. A single plus tincture will get us there. But I'd love to give them other stuff. I'd love to keep this. Okay, if we do this thing... Let's see here. 5 for a lockpick, 2 for a needle. If we don't give them fishing hooks, but instead give them straight razor. Yeah. Okay, hopefully we will not need another straight razor. I mean, we have the Menku's finger and we have a scalpel. We should be fine. Okay, there's my map. Ah, we didn't know who was in danger yet because we didn't yet have our map. The Kanes and the Saburovs. In a sense, that's not so bad because that means the infection's on the outer edges of town. Does make my life a little bit easier. Well, let's head to the theater. Ah, shoot, hold on. We give Notkin something, he is still alive, right? We'll prescribe him an antibiotic. What we need is to get another organ from a person who died of the plague. Alright, kid doesn't have anything to say to us, but I would love it if he survived. Here, have some neomycin. Yeah, it helps. Alright, he's likely to survive another day. He is on my list, right? Yeah. Even if he wasn't, you know, protecting a child from the plague is a good thing to do. But doubly so, with him being on the list and everything. Alright, out of curiosity, see if the Shady Shop has refreshed its inventory as we've entered a new day here. It has. I mean, it's not amazingly useful. Eggs are nice. Walnuts are probably worth more than the money we have to pay for them. Take the egg. Satisfies hunger and thirst. The thing is, I don't want to overload on food because I don't want to find myself unable to buy medicine if we need to. Whatever, we'll make it work. What? Oh, it's 3 tall, not 2 tall. I had a space in my inventory that was 3 tall, and it chose to put the egg in one of the only 3 spaces in our inventory that would screw that up. So, that's an annoying thing that definitely shouldn't happen. And it should just be the case when you buy stuff from the shop, if the stuff won't fit in your inventory, it lets you rearrange your inventory with the stuff in it before you leave the shop interface. It also should be the case that you can just rearrange your inventory while you're in the shop interface. Like, there's no reason for that not to be the case. I'm sure it was not so much a design decision as a technical thing. And they just didn't have time to implement it the way they would have liked. But still, you know, games post-releases maybe be a good thing to fix now that the thing is out. Oh, wait. I'm hearing a groan. There we go. Here, you can have some of my non-infected blood. Wasn't that supposed to make herbs grow? Okay, there it is. Useful. It gives us one of each type of twire. And it does not give us back a bottle, but it does get us closer to emptying our inventory of those types of blood in a useful way. Are you cool? Yeah, you're cool. Okay, you're a normal dude. You're a normal dude who has useful stuff in his inventory. I will trade 2 chisels for a metal scrap, because we don't have any metal scraps anymore. Oh no, we totally did. Well, they're still useful. Out of curiosity, what repairs could you do? You could fix up my Menku knife. I don't really need that. So the higher level repairs cost less, right? It's easier to keep our stuff in good shape if we don't let it get all the way out of shape. This is a district where there will be looters, so we need to be a little bit careful. Like, those guys would probably attack me. And honestly, if we get confronted by someone in here and they draw a knife, it's probably in my best interest to just run away. But we should definitely attempt to loot first. If they want us out, they're going to have to actually chase us out. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and needle. Ooh, gauze mask. A gauze mask that's in perfect condition. Can't see anything, don't own any matches. Yeah, it's tough to know whether or not you're going to get the market value of the needle when you spend a needle to loot. But that was a huge win right there. Okay, a bottle of muddy water, which unfortunately we can't just take, because... Alright, hold on. Drop this. Pick up this. Pour this out. And then pick this back up. It's dumb. That's dumb that works that way. I should be able to just pour the bottle out as I'm taking it. think I heard movement, so we should be a little wary. Let's drop this, take that, pour it out, then pick our other bottles back up. Actually, should I? I'm just going to go ahead and drink the milk, actually. It'll give us some inventory space to work with, and I don't think we wasted any of it. Guy hasn't seen me yet. Okay, he has a knife. I'm just going to go ahead and go outside. It seems like they can't follow us through the loading transitions through the doors. Okay, so the theater is dead ahead. Can't tell if that guy's a looter from here. I'm going to maybe just go around. There's a lot of people walking around out here. And they all could be looters. Hard to say. Ooh, candy. Yeah, they're all men. As far as we've seen, all of the looters are men. And there's only like basically one appearance for them. Okay. They're not all looters, but some of them are... The ones that are not looters are chasing others that are, and there's a whole lot of violence going on here. Looks like none of them keyed on me. I'm just going to keep moving. You just need to make it to the theater. Try not to get noticed. Oh, wait. I hear the grumble of the roots. Oh, no, that guy has a knife. We're going to go ahead and run until we get to the front door of the theater, and then disappear inside. Yeah, I would have loved to have fed the roots of the Earth Mother there, but maybe another time. Because if we poured out that other vial of uninfected blood, we would get inventory space back without having wasted the blood.
I fell in love for the first time when I was 6. A kind boy with freckles. And you know, these days his name was Matvey.
I don't believe you, and I don't like you. Actually, that's too mild a statement. I feel an innate resentment towards you.
It's... well, alright then. Most people love me.
Do they, though?
I don't like you either, girl of fate. But not just you, I'm not sure I know how to love.
Enough. This won't do. It won't do at all. This is a theatre production, not a pity party. You should be ashamed of how you've wasted your time worrying about such nonsense. Go to bed. That's it. Rehearsal over.
Huh. Mr. Immortal wanna have a chat with me, or nope? He has no use for me right now. Fair enough. Alright, let's see if this reveals the dead item shop. It totally did. Okay, well then I think that probably we ought to head over there. Man, it's not easy for me to make it to the places I need to go. The town is calling to me over here. And it looks like I probably cannot make it from Lara's place to the dead item shop. I guess let's go for it right now. So that's a guy standing directly in the place I want to go. Let's try to go around. We could loot some buildings. You know, we could just do a little bit more looting. Yeah, we gotta figure out a way to survive the day if we don't get paid, and looting is going to be a big part of that, I think. Okay, we got the needle back. That's pretty great. Stuff plus needle is like a really good outcome. As I was unlocking that, I was like, maybe we should save our needles for larger cupboards. You know, for areas that uh-oh.
There he is.
I don't know. They might not actually see me. Sometimes they just make the noises.
Calm down.
Oh, no, they don't see me.
Come over here.
Oh, those guys have knives, and they are apparently done with that dude. Honestly, that was a pretty productive little venture. We got good value out of our needle and everything. This might be a safer thing than actually trying to fight all the guys in places that we're looting. Just loot until you encounter any resistance at all, and then bounce. Let's try a little bit more of that. I like this as a strategy. I would like fighting the knife guys a little bit more. I would think it would be a little bit more interesting if you got their knives. If you beat them. What the hell? A guy just spawned inside of me and then ran out. That was weird.
Calm down. Let go.
Okay, I think there are people fighting upstairs.
Don't let go. Calm down. Don't let go. Calm down.
Fighting is maybe the wrong word.
Don't.
I think there are people upstairs making noise.
Calm down. Don't.
Ooh.
Let go. Calm down. Don't. Calm down. Let go. Calm down.
I can't pick this up. I mean, it's just a different kind of garbage, right?
Calm down. Let go. Calm down.
And we know there's lots of people upstairs,
Don't let go.
but it might still be safe for us to loot the rooms down here.
Don't calm
Just
down.
look for things that can go on the stacks that we already have going.
Don't calm down. Don't calm down. Don't let go.
And we're making decent money at it.
Don't.
Okay, break the old lockpick, that's fine. Oh,
Go. Calm
hey
down.
man, I'm just gonna leave.
There he is.
There I am. Where am I going? The wrong way, it turns out. Okay, the bridge. We're headed for the bridge. Fortunately, I had lots of stamina saved up, and we run faster than they do. Fast enough that I can actually stop and smell the flowers during my escape. Okay. So we don't have to stay in the plagued part of... Screw you, game. This guy's still chasing me? Yeah, this is crappy. I'm going to try to walk past it. But so the game is absolutely not opposed to just spawning a plague cloud directly on top of you. Which sucks. That really sucks. Alright, so that's a plague dude. We just need to run generally in this direction, it seems like. We've never actually been over here before. Okay, this looks like not the way I'm supposed to go. Some of this and then run around here, maybe? Oh, here we go. Maybe like a place that has an actual path. Maybe that would be good. Just trying to make sure I'm far enough away from that guy that he doesn't think it's worth following me. Okay, we have not been over here at all. Starting to feel a little tired. It might be a good idea actually to take a nap at Lara's. So this is Nina's tomb. That's Victoria's tomb. Kind of nice that the first time we're over here is after we've like actually learned a little bit about these women. Let's see here. I'm assuming she's in that urn? Or maybe she's buried underneath this and it was built on top of her grave. I don't know. Weird. I saw that shape in the darkness, and I don't know, I just gave myself a hell of a fright about it. Okay, that's a little bit more traditional of a tomb. So the dead item shop is over here at the very end of this. Is there like actually a building here? It doesn't look like it. Hello, my friend. Are you the dead item shop? Hey there, fellow traveler. You're right on time. On time? Today's a special day. A day backwards. Usually, I collect dead things. Today, I sell unborn ones. Sell, as in for money? Well, today, yes. I thought rag and bone people had no use for money. In general, we don't. But money is about to become a dead thing, too. I'm preparing. That's a concerning concept. What do you sell? I have these bits of paper, see? Candy wrappers. Absolutely useless. Can't do anything with them. I'm selling them for money. Today only, and they're expensive, too. Unborn things, huh? So they're useless now, but that could change? That I will not explain. Perhaps this is my attempt to save you, fellow traveler, giving away diamonds for the price of sugar. Or maybe I'm trying to swindle you as befits a merchant. Or it's all just a prank. Who knows? Not you. So maybe explain it. The stakes are your fate, fellow traveler. You're sewn to yours with a double seam, meaning you can do anything. Fate won't let you go astray, even if you don't understand the meaning of your actions. Listen, what does fate whisper? Should you take my candy wrappers? Are you suggesting we're still playing Back on the Train? Is he? I don't take that from this at all. Doing things blindly. Yeah, that's my style. A useless, colorful piece of paper. How much do I trust him that this is useless? I'm really disappointed by this because I really wanted... Like, we have so many dead items. And today being a day when we may or may not actually get paid, this would be a really useful time for us to be able to trade our dead items off for something that actually does something. So, screw this guy. I'm not going to take the candy wrappers because I don't even have inventory space for them. I really needed to trade off my dead items both for value and for space. And it sucks that that is not a thing we can do today. Interesting, though, that so many herbs grow up here. This is good to know. Alright, well, we are getting pretty late here in the episode. This one's getting a little long in the tooth, so let's figure out where we want to save. We could save at the Crucible. There is a save thing in the Crucible. I suppose that ought to be what we do. We have business that we can conduct over there. And we could run all the way to Lara so that we could sleep instead. But no, I think we have important business to do. And the exhaustion meter doesn't climb that quickly. We could still probably... We could make it from the Canes to... Wait, the Canes? Saburo? Yeah. Yeah, the Canes. We can make it from the Canes to Lars if we had to. So just go forward, preferably around this building. I tried to collect that herb while running. It did not work. Okay, so I guess this will work fine. Just, nope, never mind. Plague cloud forming directly in front of us. Okay, that's happening. We're just going to ignore it for the moment. Yep, definitely like actually throwing Molotov cocktails. Pretty wild. How far forward do I need to go? Past the wall. One assumes there will not be water in this barrel. Yeah, my thirst is starting to be a little bit of an issue. Is it real water? Nope. Muddy water. Shoot. I'm just gonna leave it. I just need to keep moving. Okay, wow. Stuff is occurring here. I'll just grab this stuff if you want to keep ignoring me for another moment or two. And then let's get indoors. Well, I would say that we're going to have an eventful one. The inhabitants of the town seem to be handling the plague worse and worse. But I think for right now, this is where we need to stop. So, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Things have been going remarkably well. I feel like we're making some kind of progress. I feel like we're, if not saving people, at least not dying ourselves. So I'm expecting that all to turn sharply any minute now. Come back next time to see if it does, and we'll see you then.